on the vlog again. Just can't wait to do a vlog again. The life I love is making vlogs for my friends, and I can't wait to do a vlog again. Doing a vlog again. Going places that I've never been. Seeing things that I may never see again. And I can't wait to do a vlog again. Hello everyone and welcome back to The Top Vloggers. As always, I am your host, High and Mighty Joe, hanging out with
your co-host, the lovely Cat.
And as you can see, we have Aaron in the back. It is going to be another great vlog today.
You can join us on all of our social media websites, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Top Vloggers. Also, if you'd like to help us reach the top, you can do so by going to www.patreon.com/thetopvloggers. Without your help and support, these vlogs will be almost impossible to do. There will be a link in the description below.
And if you are new here, don't forget you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button, take it one step further, and ring the notification bell to keep you up to date on all the future adventures that we will be going on this channel. So let's get going. Today's vlog brings us to Peru, Indiana, home of the Peru Lions Club. Let's go take a walk down the Wabash River Bridge and see all about it. Now in 1854, a train crossed the Wabash River and chugged into Peru for the first time, launching a vital part of the town's history. The current 587-foot long truss bridge was built in 1940, which we are traversing now. The limestone black piers from the original structure are still in use today.
The arrival of that first train, the Peru and Indianapolis Railroad, would be a turning point in Peru's importance as a transportation hub. To this day, a hub in which rail cars and watercraft would share leading roles at different times. The context for Peru's rich history of transportation started in 1816 when Indiana became a state. Native Americans still occupied the unsettled northern portion of Indiana, but that changed in 1829 when the federal government signed a treaty with the Native Americans to cede the land on the north bank of the Wabash River. This opened the way for the government to build the historic Wabash and Erie canals. New settlements began sprouting along the proposed canal route, the first being Miamisport, platted in 1829 by Joseph Holman. By 1832, Miamisport needed to expand. It looked west for growth. This angered William Hood, who owned property to the east. Hood hired engineers from the Wabash and Erie Canal to plat Peru. He offered free lots to people and churches who would move from Miamisport to Peru. Hood wanted Peru to be the county seat, so he donated property for a courthouse and jail. A vote was taken, and the electorate granted Hood's wish. The vote would lead to Miamisport's demise in 1841 and be a forerunner of Peru becoming incorporated in 1848 and later the Miami County seat.
As you can see, they're working on it to the left, and we saw the river to the right. Now meanwhile, the Wabash and Erie Canal was opened to Peru in 1837. The canal played a key role in the growth of Indiana's population and economy. Next, Indiana borrowed $10 million to build canals, roads, and railroads throughout the state and connect the state capital. The center canal was designed to connect the upper reaches of the Wabash and Erie Canal near Peru with Evansville and the Ohio River via Indianapolis. But the Depression of 1839 to 1843, along with mismanagement of borrowed funds, precluded the successful completion of the project. Now, businessmen in Peru still wanted a connection to Indianapolis. This led to the Peru and Indianapolis Railroad being incorporated on January 19, 1846. Now, the first railroads were seen as adjuncts to the river and canals, feeding watercraft goods that could be moved along the waterways. However, as it became evident that the railroads could serve a much larger purpose, a love affair with trains burgeoned throughout the nation. By 1856, the romance had boiled to a point that would change the country and the world forever. It now took only hours to reach a destination instead of days. By 1874, canals had become a thing of the past. The Wabash and Erie Canal closed in 1876, but remnants can be seen in Peru as underneath the railroad bridge, which is now part of the Nickel Plate Trail that we are on. Now, the Wabash River Bridge has played an important part in Peru's role as a railroad hub. At one time, 3 railroads had division points here with extensive yards and roundhouses for the maintenance of their equipment and the railroad as well. Now, the Peru and Indianapolis Railroads was chartered in 1846. It began serving Peru in 1854 and Rochester in 1868. The line operated passenger service under various names, including the Nickel Plate, until 1932. Freight service continued until 1992, when the last train on this line carried scrap rail from the Washington Street rail yards. The rail bed became part of the Federal Rail Bank program in 1999. January 19, 2000, Friends of the Nickel Plate Trail met for the first time to plan a pedestrian trail, the one that we are on today, right now. Organizers got their first grant to pave 3.4 miles just south of the bridge in 2004. Now, the Nickel Plate Trail has blossomed since then. In 2011, the Wabash Bridge was decked and open for use. There have been tragedies on the tracks as well. In 1893, it was called a calamity. Today, it would be called a tragedy. At 2 o'clock Friday morning, January 21st of that year, the Cincinnati and Chicago Express sped over a broken rail some 50 yards south of the Wabash River, resulting in horrendous crash on the west end of Peru. The train's engineer, Henry Griffin, 48, and a passenger, George C. Dorland, were killed. According to reports, the train was moving north at 50 miles per hour as it approached the bridge. When the engine got to perhaps 30 feet south of the bridge, it jumped the tracks. The rear section of the engine and the tender hopped over the bridge ties. The rail cars also left the track. One span of the bridge, along with everyone aboard the train, plunged 20 feet into the icy Wabash River. The Peru Republican reported that the train was running late out of Indianapolis on Friday night and came down the grade south of the bridge at an unusual speed. The train was due in Peru at 1:38 a.m. Fireman Frank Wade managed to escape the wreckage, having apparently been thrown clear of the mangled mess and onto the frozen river, but Griffin, who had 20 years' experience as an engineer, was badly scalded. Dry steam from the hole in a dome of the engine spewed through the broken cab. Griffin's head, face, and body were scalded. He lingered until 10:40 o'clock Friday night before dying. Dorland, an abstract and real estate agent from LaPorte, Indiana, had died earlier that day. It said he was one of 8 passengers, all who suffered injuries. Now, as you can see right here, there is a bench and a trash can, so after you're done walking, if you get a little tired, you can sit down and take a rest. And if you want to throw that water bottle away, here's a good place so you can keep the place clean. Now, right here next to the bench and the trash can is a stone that says, "In memory of Bill and Judy Wolf." Very beautiful. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on this vlog with us. It was a nice brisk walk, that is for sure. It's getting a little warmer today than I thought it would be. That is for sure.
Yes, it is getting a bit warmer, like you said. It was a very brisk walk and very informative. I learned a lot from it.
And I think that's going to do it for us here today. We'll see you again tomorrow. Top Vloggers, out.